How you doing? Good morning. This is Ivan coming at you again with part 2 with Baruch, letter to the 10 tribes. Letter to the 10 tribes. Remember, in part 1, I showed you the quarter with the eagle on it, okay? And also, George Washington, the European. Now remember that this letter was written over 2,000 years ago, and that he was going to use the Europeans to bring this letter to the 10 tribes of the house of Israel. Now, let's get back to Baruch, 2nd Baruch, chapter 77, verse number 17, Salakia. Nevertheless, I am writing also to your brothers in Babylon, as you have said to me, and will send by means of men. And I will write to the 9.5 tribes in this manner, and send by means of a bird. And I wrote these 2 letters. One I sent by means of an eagle, the European Empire, to the 9.5 tribes, and the other I sent to those who were in Babylon by means of 3 men. Now, I left off at 2nd Baruch, chapter 83, verses 1. Now, we're going to begin at verse number 2. And if you're watching this right now, I thank you for watching part number 1. Now, like I said before, this is a long letter that Baruch is writing to the 12 tribes of the house of Israel. Verse 2. He surely judges those who are in his age, and he visits in truth everything by means of all their works that were sins. He will surely search the secret thoughts and everything that is put in the rooms of all the wicked members. He will bring out to be revealed before all people with reproof. Now, we're going to precept that with Daniel. Daniel chapter 2, verse number 22. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth in them. Now, Daniel was saying that the Most High knows all the secret things in the dark, and he will bring to light. Okay? Verse number 4. Therefore, let none of these present things, Salakia, ascend to your heart, but above all, let us be expectant, because what has been promised is coming. And let us not look to the pleasures of the nations of the present, but let us remember what has been promised to us for the end, because the limits of time are surely passing, of the seasons and everything that is in them together. For the consummation of the world, our age, will then show the great power of its ruler, as everything will come to judgment. You, therefore, prepare your hearts for that which you have believed from the beginning, so that you will not be held back from both ages, to be taken captive here, and there to be tormented. Verse 9. Now, Salakia, for what is now, or has passed, or is coming, in all of these neither is evil perfectly evil, nor again good perfectly good. For any kind of health that exists now turns into disease. And everything powerful that is now turns into weakness. And every hardness that is now turns into miseries. And all the strength of youth turns into old age and consummation. Every comeliness of beauty that is now turns withered and ugly. And every ignorant boasting that is now turns into humiliation and shame. All praise and haughtiness that is now turns into the shame of silence, and all exaltation and solence that is now turning to silent ruin. All pleasures and joys that are now turned into haughtiness and corruption. All the boastful clamor turns into dust and stillness. Every passion, every possession, Salakia, of riches that is now turns into Solel alone. All rapine of lust that is now turns into involuntary death. And every lust of the desires turn into judgment of torture. Every desire of cunning that is now turns into admonition of truth. Every sweetness of ointments that is now turns into judgment and condemnation. Every friendship turns into silent shame. Therefore, since all of these are now, do you think that they will not be avenged? For the consummation of everything will reach the truth. I therefore make these things known to you while I am alive. For I have said that, all above, you should learn the commandments of the Mighty One, who has admonished you. And I will set before you some of the commandments of his judgments before I will die. Remember that Moses once solemnly called heaven and earth to witness against you and said, if you transgress the Torah, you will be scattered. But if you keep it, you will be planted. And furthermore, he told you other things when you were together, 12 tribes in the desert. And after his death, you cast them away from you. Therefore, these things that were formerly said to you, Salakia, that were formerly said come to you, and now Moses spoke to you beforehand, so that it was not befall you. Salakia, so that it shall not befall you, and see, it has befallen you, for you have forsaken the Torah. I too see, I say to you, that after you have suffered, if you obey those things that were said to you, you will receive from the Mighty One everything that has been set aside and preserved from you. Let then this letter be a testimony between me and you. Let then this letter be a testimony between me and you, so that you will remember the commandments of the Most High. And so that in this way I will also have an excuse before him who has sent me. Remember Zion, and the Torah, and the Holy Land, and your brothers, and the covenant, and your fathers, and the festivals, and the Sabbath. Do not forget, and pass this letter and the traditions of the Torah on your sons after you, as your fathers have also passed them on to you. At all times petition and pray diligently with all your soul, so that the Mighty One may be content with you, and not reckon the abundance of your sins, but remember the uprightness of your fathers. For if he does not judge us according to the abundance of his mercies, woe unto us all who are born. Furthermore, know then that in former times and in Salakia, let me start over. Furthermore, know then that in former times and in generations of old, our fathers had righteous helpers and prophets and holy men. But we were in our land, and they helped us when we sinned, and they interceded on our behalf with him who made us, because they trusted in their works. And the Mighty One heard them and forgave us. And now the righteous have been gathered, and the prophets have fallen asleep. We too have left our land, and Zion has been taken from us, and we have nothing now except the Mighty One and his Torah. Therefore, if we direct and prepare our hearts, we will receive everything we have lost many times over. For what we have lost was subject to corruption, and what we will receive is not corruptible. I also write in this manner to our brothers in Babylon, so that to them too I may attest these things. Let all of these things that were said beforehand be before your eyes always, because we are still in the spirit and the power of our free will. And furthermore, also the Most High is patient with us here and has let us know what is to be. He has not hidden from us what will befall in the end. Let me start over. He has not hidden from us what will befall in the end. Therefore, before his judgments will claim its own and truth what is rightfully his due, let us prepare ourselves so that we will possess and not be possessed, so that we will possess and not be possessed. Let's precept that with Psalms chapter 2, verses 8. Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thine possession. Let's get back to verse number 8. He has not hidden from us what will befall in the end. Therefore, before his judgment will claim its own and truth what is rightfully his due, let us prepare ourselves so that we will possess and not be possessed, and that we will hope and not be put to shame, and that we will rest with our fathers and not be tormented with those who hate us. For the youth of the world our age has passed, and the strength of creation is already consumed. The event of the times is very near, and they have passed. The picture is near to the cistern, the boat to the harbor, the journey of the road to the city, and life to its consummation. Again, then prepare yourselves so that when you have traveled and ascended from the boat, you will have rest and not be condemned when you depart. See then, the Most High brings to pass all of these. There will not be there again a place for patience, nor a limit of times, nor a duration of the seasons, nor a change in the road, nor a place for petition, nor the sending of requests, nor receiving of knowledge, nor giving of love, nor a place of repentance, nor supplications for transgressions, nor intercessions of the fathers, nor a prayer of the prophets, nor the help of the righteous. Then there is there the decree for the judgment of corruption, for the way of fire, and the path that leads to annihilations. Therefore, there is one Torah, one world our age, and an end for all who are in it. Then he lets those who live, whom he finds, and forgives them. And at the same time, he will destroy those who are polluted with sins. Therefore, when you receive the letter, read it in your assemblies with care, and meditate thereon, above all, on the days of your fast. And remember me through this letter. And remember me through this letter, as I too remember you through it always. Let me repeat that. Therefore, when you receive the letter, when you receive this book here, written by Baruch, read it in your assemblies with care, and meditate thereon, above all on the days of your fast. And remember me through this letter. And remember me through this letter. So I too remember you through it always. And when I had completed all the words of this letter, and I had written it with care until its end, I folded it, sealed it carefully, tied it to the neck of the eagle, and dismissed and sent it. The end of the book of Baruch, son of Neriah. Remember, this letter, this book from Baruch, he was going to send it by way of an eagle, by the way of men, the European nation. And I'm just now reading the book. And I'm bringing forth this letter from Baruch to you, to the 10 tribes of the house of Israel. This letter, this book has been delivered. I thank you guys for listening. I encourage you guys to go out and get this book. 4th Ezra, 2nd Baruch. And just to let you know that it's been delivered to us, to the 10 tribes of the house of Israel. Y'all take care. Hopefully I read and you understood what I read. It is 2:46 in the morning, and I am about to upload part number 2. Shalom.